live on StreamYard, and we're live on YouTube. So we are good to go. Welcome, everybody, to Rick's Life as I See It on this Wednesday night on the 30th of July already. Damn. It's so hot. I mean, here in southern Indiana, we are sitting at, it's dropped down below 90s. It's at 89 degrees at 7 o'clock at night with a feel like of 100 still. That's what it's like. But tomorrow we got a cool front coming in. We're only going to be up to 88. It's a high. So things are looking up, I guess. But then I went and looked at the long term forecast after this low front for the next 3 or 4 days in the 80s goes back up into the 90s. So there we go. All right. What else is happening? No, it's right. I'm just waffling on here, waiting for people to show up. That's all. So, there was something I was going to mention today, and there was something I did. Oh, talking about funny. Well, I think it's funny. It wasn't at the time, though. I was thinking to myself, oh, shit. My friend took my truck down to the dollar store, and she said, I'm going to the dollar store, then I'm going to shoot across the street to the park, because there's a park right down the street. And she calls me up and said, we're ready. I'm starting to leave, and the car won't start. What do you mean it won't start? She says, I turned the key, nothing. Absolutely nothing. I said, no clicking? She goes, no. She goes, the lights all come on, on the dash, but you turn the key, absolutely nothing. What are we going to do? I said, you're going to walk home, I guess. No, that didn't go over too well. Anyway, so I went down there and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I wonder if the starter is stuck. I mean, I don't know what in the hell I'm doing anyway. I don't know if you can still do it. In the old days, you could put a screwdriver across the two bolts on where everything's bolted to and get it to crank over. Not to start it, but just to sort of like unstick it.
So annoying. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, the way that truck is, I mean, you can't, unless you jack it up and get right underneath it, you can't get to the starter because it has, like, inside the wheel, it has a plastic cover up next to the engine, so you can't even see the starter without taking that off and stuff. And I'm thinking, oh God, and all this kind of stuff. And I couldn't figure it. And I checked. I was making sure everything was fine, and so I'm starting to panic.
Was it in park?
Not panic. So I called my friend up. The guy who looks after my truck and where I do the shoot. I said, this is the problem. He said, and I'm telling it to him. He goes, it could be the starter. He said, hammer the damn thing, see what happens. Well, I said, well, I'll try, but I said, getting underneath it and getting to it, I said, it's hard. So anyway, I said I would try. So mind you, you should have seen me trying to get, and she's parked on gravel. Right? So I'm trying to think, what the hell am I going to, I'm wearing shorts. So I take out the floor mat to the truck, lay him down there, and I sort of kneeled down. It took me, you should have seen me getting down. And it was even funny. Well, if you were watching, it must have looked funny, me getting up. It's, I mean, that's why I've got disability, because I can't get up and down. Anyway, didn't. I thought it went inside the truck, it wouldn't work. So I thought, my friend does have a trailer, that we could, and he's got a what you call it thing on it where you can clip it to the front and pull it up onto it. So he goes, I said, it's not starting. He said, do the lights come on? I said, yes. I said, I'm turning it now, but nothing. He said, are they dimming when you turn it? I said, no. He goes, he says, try to start it in neutral. So I said, it won't come out of gear. He says, well, turn the key on. I'm thinking, oh, duh, yeah, that's right. So I turned it to neutral. I said, it's in neutral. He said, start it. So I turned the key, thing fired right up. And I said, what in the hell happened? He said, you sitting on a slope. I said, yeah. He goes, it's an old truck. He said, when you put it in park, it didn't go all the way in to park. Even though it held it there, it didn't go all the way into park. And so, when we took it out and started it on neutral, things are good. What do you?
Because it's an old truck, it probably did that, start on neutral. But a lot of vehicles, unless it's in park, it's not going to start. So I've ran across, I had to go rescue my mom one time years ago. And she was a little ways away, stop from work and go save her. And all the same thing. It wasn't in park, basically. It was so the car wouldn't start, and she didn't know what to do. So
I didn't even think about that, to be honest with you.
So always check that, because sometimes people forget. It's just one of the simplest shit first. You actually have gas before you change a fuel pump, because you might have just ran out of gas.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. I mean, of course, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, God, I got to get a new starter and try to get it on here and get the rear, either do it here. But I'm in the town park. I don't think they'll be too pleased with me leaving my truck there while I wait a couple of days to get money together to buy a starter. It's all going through my head,
Seems like she just likes to watch you work or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, we got. I mean, goddamn, when that thing fired up, I tell you, the relief in my body. It's like all the stress just left, and I was feeling quite good with myself, But anyway, that's that. It's past. Let me introduce my panelist from the. I was going to say the great state, but I can't really say that honestly. So from the state of New York Outcast, how you doing?
Doing all right. I've had some auto things going on myself here, but not as bad as you were at, where I thought I was down and out and crawling all around. So, but I did have to recharge the AC system, and it turned out going well. Threw a little short up using the cheaper stuff, so because I got all these bigger cans, but I really didn't think I needed all that much, and most of them are $40 and whatnot, and I ended up getting away with one for like 25. And
actually, I recharged mine a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
And it's done the trick. It's a lot. You remember me? I don't know. You guys telling me it's not. I've been saying it's not as cold as it normally is. Now it's running colder.
Yeah. I got. Well, that's the funny part. People are bitching because it's hot. I go ahead, fix it. Now people are bitching because it's too cold. It's like, well, you just can't make people happy. So I got to run it on medium, or people start freaking out. But that, and getting an inspection, and I had
we don't have. I think there's only one county in Indiana
where you have inspections.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and here it's state. So and it's mainly big on admissions. Is pretty much
I mean, that's what it was like in Rhode Island. You had to go through that admission test.
So and apparently I had a sticking EGR valve, so I didn't work out for me the first time through. So had to stop everything, go address that. I was thankfully, instead of buying a new one for $158, I was able to take mine apart, clean it all up, and get it operating properly again. So
that's good.
Good. And then the guy was like, whenever you want, just come back up. So it's a place I go all the time, or have for years. So basically, I didn't have to make an appointment or nothing. Just rolled up and ended up getting it through and cleared. So now I just got my truck to worry about, which technically that thing, as long as it makes it there, it passes. Basically.
I mean, don't you get a free pass because of the age of it?
Yeah, well, kind of. I do on the admissions. So other than that, if tires, brakes, everything, if it's not falling apart or, you know what I mean, whatever, then you're good to go. So that I'll clear without, I'm not even worried about that. So, and they only charge me $12 because it's a classic, I think. So
that is a classic.
But that's cool. The car I get hit for $21 because of the insurance part. So, which is
I told you about my AC that I bought off the internet, didn't I?
I don't think so.
Well,
go ahead.
There's a brand on there. They looked identical, and they were one. When I'm looking at the page, and I wanted to get the R134A, whatever they call it, right? But the one below it said it was a substitute of 134A. And I hit that button by mistake. And because what made me look at it was when it got here, it says don't mix it with regular 134.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that sucks.
I don't know. I didn't want to take the chance.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah.
I hit I done it on Amazon, and I done all the things that said, want to ship it back and stuff. And the company came back to me, sent me a label and said, I've got to pay to ship it back. I said, no. Amazon don't work that way. But anyway, it took me 3 hours with Amazon and the seller to get it. I said, in the end, to the Amazon person, I said, I don't care how you do it. All I want is a label to return it, paid for by you or the seller, right? And all this. She goes, no problem. Now, this is after 3 hours. They finally transferred me to somebody that actually speaks English. Or I shouldn't be nasty like that. Somebody I could understand with a foreign accent.
I know what you mean, though, but it doesn't help. Let's just be honest. It doesn't help. You're already having a bad time. You got to repeat everything. They don't know what the hell they're saying. And even if they do speak English, they all go through the speech of trying to go through trouble codes and everything, but just listen to what the hell you're saying.
Yeah. Well, this one finally did.
So it's already difficult as it is. So I appreciate people I can understand too in stressful moments.
Now,
what you want is just, it's easier. I know.
Now, I don't know how she did it, whether she did it legally or illegally or what, but I said, I don't care. I want my money. I said, I want a refund or I want to send it back. So anyway, what happened was that the following day, she said, no problem. We'll take care of the credit and send you a shipping label too. I said, fine. The following day, I got 3 credits. I got 2 credits where it said your monthly membership fee was returned to you, right? because it come to 35. I paid $35 for this stuff, right? So I got two $15 credits and a $5 credit to get my money back. You know, and I never got a label, so that stuff is right here. I've got it in the box still. So there you go. If they ain't gonna send me a label to return it for, and they cover the cost, I ain't sending it back. It's that simple. So there we go. Anyway, let's see who's in the room here. It's a slow night because it's Wednesday. It's a hot summer day or evening. People are out and about doing whatever they got to do. You know, let's see. First in the room was Two Live Moo, then Raphael, then Jacob S. Then we got the lurkers, of course. That's all that's showing up. It's very slow. I mean, I know it's slow this time of year. Always is. People are out and about doing whatever they want to do. But I'm here, you know, and my buddy New York Outcast is here. That's all we need. Just listening to me talk, you know. So, what else is anyway? What else is new? What?
I was just saying, it is like prime time of the year, kind of. So lots of people are probably out doing
absolutely.
That,
I mean,
so.
I'm not upset or anything that we got a real small crowd here. I'm a small channel anyway, so you know, and I keep saying it. I get more people listen to me later, like if they're riding to work or whatever. You know, they're having a bad day. They go, let's listen to Rick because his days are worse than ours. You know.
And really, you know, as you get older, you realize it's more about quality instead of quantity. You know?
Yeah.
So the people we do have, they're good people.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what's going on, and I'm trying to think. And be honest with you, I haven't done any shooting the last couple of weeks because being up over the 90s with a heat index up in the hundreds, it's been totally miserable. You know, even when I go down to my buddy's house, you know, we sit in the garage and we got the fan on, the doors open, and I normally stay there, you know, I normally get there around, I don't know, 9 o'clock, and you know, if we're going down to Deb's to eat, we normally leave around 10:30, you know, but I've been leaving. I've only been sitting there for about an hour at the most because it's just too damn hot, you know? And so that's what's been going on. So I haven't done any shooting, you know, I'm afraid. So, because it's just, I mean, hell, I like the warm weather more than the cold. You know, I can tolerate the cold, but I don't like it, and my hands hurt more, shit like that. But when it's hot like this, oh man, it's almost the polar opposite to the way I feel when it's freezing out there. You know what I'm saying? I feel just not conducive. Now, of course, you know, if danger's happening, of course I'm gonna have to shoot if my life's in danger and stuff. But you know, doesn't mean I have to practice in it. It's the way I know they say you should always practice because you never know what kind of situation you're going to be in. Well, Gun Hobo says, yes, Rick, I forgot to say I'm lurking. I'm getting old. Hey, I'm already there on the old part. So we don't change the subject totally. We were discussing this the other day. My friend, his son, stopped by. This was on, I think it was last Friday. Was it last Friday? Friday just gone. His son's he was starting a new job this past Monday. And we're just sitting there and we're talking about stuff, and he's buying. He said, "Yeah, I'm thinking about buying this, buying that." I said, "Well, you might as well." I said, "You're in your 40s now. You got a few years to go." I said, "Think about it. I said that 308 I built. I said, in the big scheme of things, to a lot of people, I spent $1,000 on it. That's a lot of money to me." I said, "But I'm 69. God, I'm 69 years old this coming February. Jesus Christ, that's old." And I said, "So really, when you think about it, I should have built that if I was into guns like I am now back in the 40 when I was 40. That way I'll have 30, 40 years to shoot the damn thing. Now, what have I got? 15 at the most? I
Yep,
said,
but
I might live another 20 years, but that gun weighs so much, I don't know if I'll be able to lift it when I'm up that old.
but at that point, it pass over to me, and there'll still be some years left out of it, appreciative years.
Yes. Yeah. You have plenty of years left in you to get it, to utilize it more.
Potentially, you never know.
Yeah.
That's the thing about life. A lot of people I grew up with are no longer with us, and some of it is just crazy, weird stuff out the blue. So you never really know.
Yeah, I
Some
mean,
of it
like
can
in the
come in
news,
way, but
Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan,
yeah, but Ozzy was, he was getting up there
he's
and
only 76. I'm only
right,
a
but
few years away from that.
were you a rock star for your 40 of those 76 years or 50
Uh,
of
uh,
yeah, and an openly, I believe he had drug issues up until what, the late 80s or something
oh
like
yeah.
that.
Hey, I saw Ozzy with Black Sabbath at the Hammersmith Odeon in London back in
Nice.
1970 something, right?
Nice.
And
Uh-huh.
the support band. You ready for this? The
Yep.
support band was Van Halen.
Holy shit.
Before they made it real big.
Yeah. Yeah, they were like an opening or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
That's pretty cool, man.
yeah, yeah. Ozzy,
Uh-oh.
I mean, Ozzy was good. I got to give him credit.
Uh,
Anyway, the French dad is in the crowd out here. Where you been? Ain't seen you in months. I thought thought screw this. I'm going to go listen to somebody else. But good to see you back. Sorry about that. I ain't seen him in ages. Hey, John Brown Productions in there. See, they're starting to come in now. So yeah. Anyway, where I'm going is their
you
age.
drank there for a while, but Ozzy openly did a bit more than drink.
Yeah,
And who knows what the hell he might have got from that bat,
yeah. But I mean, Hulk Hogan. Hell, I mean, look at the amount of steroids he took back
That's
in
what I
the
was
80s
going
and
to
90s.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. God knows what kind of cocktails that guy's been on,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
even if you
It was the
he's
age thing I was
here,
thinking of.
still long history. So
Yeah. I mean, I grew up with them. I mean, I lived alongside their life. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
And so that's where I was going with. That's what I was talking to his son about. I said, you used to have years, and if you don't, something seriously doesn't happen, you got hopefully years ahead of you. And I said, I don't. I said, I've got shorter time now than I had. I said I don't plan on going anywhere soon. But back to what I've said, and I know you agree with it. I said the only problem is I personally have never seen a 90-year-old fat man. But I did tell him. I said, but I plan on being the first. So, You know, and we're talking. I don't know how we got onto this subject on this with his son and stuff, but you know, I said I plan on. I said people, my relatives, most of them. I mean, my dad. I think my dad was 79 when he passed away, but my aunts and uncles, you know, his brothers and sisters, there's only one left, and she's 86, and she's the youngest one. But the rest of them all died in their late 80s, you know? So we've got long living genes. You know what I'm saying? If you get past but my family does have heart issues in the family line. You know, if you get past that, you can live. Well, I'll be well into my 80s, so I might hit that 90. So you can say in years to come, yeah, I knew a 90-year-old fat man. You know, just saying.
I wish you luck, Rick. You know,
Yeah,
hope
yeah,
hope
I
yeah,
know. You know,
yeah.
I am losing weight, but it's slowed way down. I'll lose a couple of pounds this month, but then I'll put a pound back on next month. That's what I've been doing for the last few months, you know. So I've been hovering around the same. To me, that's good. I haven't gained any, but I ain't lost any either. But you know what I'm saying? So the defense stat says I don't want to live to 90. Too many damn many years of paying taxes. Well, hey, when you get Social Security, you won't be paying taxes on it anymore unless you've earned so much money and invested, and you've got tons of money coming in when you retire. You know, but you know, Social Security is going to be tax free now. You know, but I guess your if you have a 401 and stuff, you no, I thought your 401, if you left it there till you retired, is that tax free too, or do you have to pay tax on what money you take out?
From my understanding, you got to pay when you take it out. So
Yeah, I know
think
you do if you're still working and living, you take sort of like borrow some money out of it. You got to pay taxes on it. But
I think you
when you
may get it
actually retire,
leave it in for whatever it is, 20 years, I think it is, or whatnot. I don't know. Whatever the stipulations are, I think you might get a discount, but I think you still got to pay to cash it out. So
okay.
I'm almost positive. You know, a friend of mine did it, and it took a while too, because it's you know, you don't just call and it happens. So at least it didn't. Maybe it does now, but basically, you got to wait a little bit to get your actual money and whatnot, and government usually wants their cut first.
Yeah, you're right. Defense dad said it's tax free while you're putting it in, but you pay taxes when you start taking it out. But what they're saying is because you don't have a job, you're earning less money, so your taxes should be less on what you're drawing from your 401. I think that's the theory behind it. You know. Yeah. And what you said earlier, Defense Dad, about you don't work on Wednesdays anymore and busy with the kiddos in the summer. Totally understand. That's what I was saying earlier. That's why it's very slow in here in the summer. People are out doing stuff, you know. So I totally understand. But what's that? You get off at 7. What time zone you in? It's because it's 7:30. You got to. I mean, so you're in slow time, as we call it here, Central, ain't you? You in Central time, so you're an hour behind. So it's 6:30 there. Okay. All right. I keep forgetting other people are on a different time than I am, because I am in the time zone the one that only matters. So there we go. Yeah, Central. He said, yeah, I thought so. Slow time. That's what we call it here in Indiana. and I'm right on the line. As you will all be, I've told this story many times. I can go down the road and my watch and my phone will flip over to whatever tower it picks up because we're Eastern time, Central time. The line's right through here, So it flips and flops on me. So I know I can set the settings on my phone to stay, Eastern time zone, no matter what time zone I go into, but I don't because I'm lazy. I tell you what I did do the other day though. Was it 2 days ago? Is how every time you start your computer up and you go into your settings and stuff and it says upgrade to Windows 11. Been telling me that for 2 years now. Then of course I get the email the other day telling me, was it an email or message come up that starting in October Windows 10 is not being supported. So, but then I've already looked on their thing. It says my computer is not compatible to be upgraded to Windows 11. Blah blah blah. Well, I came across a YouTube. It says, "Are you getting this saying you're not compatible?" And they said, "What in the hell was the name of it?" Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? I took the gamble on this. Let me find it. Where in the hell is it? Where in the hell is it? What in the hell is the name of it? It's getting to me because it was. Here, there it is. It was called Flyby 11 Classic. I downloaded it, opened it up, played it. It went through it. You have to hit a couple. You have to watch the screen closely. Don't just keep clicking or you screw yourself up. But you click through it. It does everything. And I got Windows 11 on here. No, and it said my computer is running beautiful, and it meets what it meets what it needs to run 11.
God damn. Yeah.
Windows is just telling you it's not because they want you to buy a new computer with their
now you were just China and all that shit, and there's going to be people in India watching you on your computer now, and everything. It's done.
Yeah, you're more than likely right, but I don't care.
Probably still running 10, but it makes it look like 11, and now
possibly could be.
Last night,
possibly. I even saved the.
Did you do it? At least do a search on this, whatever the hell it was, flyby, whatever.
Yeah. I done a search on it, and people said it works, and it's based on open source software.
All right, and you read all the fine print with it. You don't have to put your soul or a kidney or anything in there.
No, we're good. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it at? Where in the hell is it? Let me. I could have sworn it was there.
Have you checked your bank account since you downloaded it?
I didn't have. You don't have to pay. It's free.
Oh, I know, but you should check it anyway.
Yeah. Okay, now let me find it. I got it here. Oh man, come on. It's all right. I was looking here. See, of course, I could have sworn I saved the. Okay. it was a video. The guy's called his channel is Nerd on the Street. And the video is upgrading unsupported PCs to Windows 11. It's about 30 minutes long, but he tells you what you need to do when you're doing that program and how to go about it and all this kind of good shit. So I'm just saying that if everybody else is having that problem, So I said it's running, and it's been running better than goddamn Windows 10 runs. And I hear Windows 11 ain't that good, but I'm not having any issues with it. It's a bit, and not only that is normally when you upgrade, and it says we're going to keep everything the same. It doesn't. You always lose something. But on this one, there's a thing there. Do you want to copy over all your settings and all your everything that you have the same?
Yeah,
and I checked yes. I haven't seen anything missing yet.
Damn, no, I'm kidding.
What?
I say because it's still Windows 10. You got scammed.
Yeah, they just put a new front on it for me. Yeah, as you said, make me look like I'm on 11.
Yeah, I don't know, but all that type of stuff I'm super sketchy about.
Oh yeah, I did some research on it, but I thought, hell, if it doesn't work, I'll put it back to Windows 10. Because I do have. Where is it? I got my little thing here with it where I could redo Windows 10 if I have to. But so far, so good. And not only that is, it's doing. I mean, one thing I was worried about is them because I didn't go through the Windows website to download Windows 11. That I was worried that, well, what about updates and stuff? It's been doing updates, no problem. Actually, it had an update this morning, security update. I'm not having any issues with it whatsoever. So far, so good. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
See, I'm an old guy, but I stay up with the times. You know what I'm saying?
Just do a solid favor and check your bank account just to make sure. Keep a good eye on it.
I will.
Get paid and keep a good eye on it. If anything funny, this is suspect number one right there. If anything happens, but yeah, more than you might be fine. You might have just found a legitimate workaround or whatever. So, but it's always hard to say until somebody tries it. At least for me, because some of the reviews could be faked, and depending where you're getting stuff, I mean, people invest so much time, money, and energy. Like the scams out there nowadays are just unreal.
You got a good point there. I'll be keeping an eye on it because, I do a lot of my, personal banking and shit. I do it online.
Yeah.
So
I mean, not saying it is or isn't, but I'd keep a good eye on stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I will.
If it does come up, you got you can get a jump on it before you're really injured.
Yeah, no, but I mean, from what I researched, it sounded okay, and the reviews I read, weren't bad. There were quite a few positive ones. Defense Dad, did you get a second AR? Where you been? That's actually an AR-10 that you see up behind me there. The AR-15's the one hanging on the wall. The one on top of the tool chest there is an AR-10 that I built piece by piece. I put it together. I built the lower too. I just bought the basic piece of metal and I done everything else. Oh yeah, it's a 308 AR-10 platform. Hell yeah, it's nice. Shoots great. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to find me somewhere I can do long distance. I my I told you my friends we're going to build a 300-yard range on his land, but I spoke to my cousin. He said if you shoot diagonally across my back field, he said we can get just shy of 400 yards. So, what I need to find somebody who owns property, where the old electric lines go in it, the big cables,
Yep.
towers, right? I need somebody who owns that and owns quite a bit of it, where you can get a long distance shot down through there. That's what I'm looking for now. Because if we out west, you can get 1,000 yards, no problem. But like us, it's hard to find that kind of distance. So anyway, so that's what it is. It's a Bear Creek upper and a arrow position lower, and I put them together, and I got I can't think of the brand name of the stock on there, and it's got a nice trigger in there, and it's got a nice grip, and it's a cheap. I'll be honest with you, it's a cheap ass scope, but I don't have any issues with it. It's clear enough for me. So yeah, it's nice. It's a 24-inch barrel on there. Yeah. So I'm ready to go. I even made my own sock here for when I put on the back when I'm, because it's got the. So I even made that myself the other day. So things are looking up. Oh, there we go. What were we? Sorry, I got sidetracked by Defense Dad there. Yes, and New York Outcast put first dibs on it. For when I finally say when I kick the bucket, he's got first dibs on it.
Damn right.
So there you go. Anyway, I told my son, I've written it down. I've had my friend signed it for me. I don't know if that makes it legal or not. I need to get it done properly, I guess. But I put on there that my oldest son gets all the guns to make life easier. I said you can share them with my doctor son if you want. That's what I'm expecting you to share them amongst you. But I just put him down as the main person to sort of like take them. I said everything else I got here, I said just put a dumpster out in the driveway and throw it all in there. Most of the shit I got here is old and shit anyway. So careful, Rick. We don't need to see your special sock on camera. Yeah. So, but talking about that, you know what I've been researching last few days? Why I was tidying up my bookcase over here, and I've got a bunch of model railroad books over here. How to make them, how to do scenery and all this kind of shit, and how to wire them and stuff like that. I'm sitting here because but you can't see it, but behind my computer screen here, I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got about this, I don't know, what are they? 24 inches wide, about 12 inches deep, and then go back about a foot and a half. I got 5 drawers in each one, and I got 2 of them stacked on top of each other. So I got 10 drawers there full of model railroad stuff. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, another 10 drawers here that half that size of model railroad stuff. Then I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, another 10 drawers, small ones over here full of model railroad stuff. And so I've been thinking about making another layout. But where? I mean, there ain't no room behind me. So I got to figure out how I might have to do it in the bedroom. You know? But I was thinking of just doing a small one. You know? Sort of about 6 foot, about 6 foot long.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 foot wide, and do a sort of like end to end type thing. You know, like a train yard. You know, dropping off, box cars and shit, and moving them around and that kind of thing.
Yeah, right. That's how it starts. It starts. Yeah, you remind me of my dad now. You know what he ended up with?
What?
A whole goddamn 2-bedroom apartment set up.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Well, there's you flipped areas to walk through, all that type of shit, mountains.
Yeah. I had a layout like that I was building before I took it all down when I got the cats.
3 feet long, the pieces of track and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was great, and it all started with a couple of my old sets, and then the next thing you know, I think I'm gonna make something, and did it, and then he ended up with a whole goddamn apartment. So it was amazing. It was
there's nothing wrong with that.
People would walk through, and he'd just be happy. It got disassembled and whatnot. We ended up moving and put stuff in the storage, and a lot of it got stolen. So,
oh man.
So yeah, a lot of my stuff too. I lost a snowboard, gas-powered radio-controlled car, which was like my favorite thing in the world as a kid. And those were expensive. I actually traded some stuff with a kid for that car. There's a big story with it, but anyway, it was all legit in the end. You know, his parents knew and found out, but they were pissed, and it was a whole thing and whatever. But I didn't bamboozle him. He offered me. So, but anyway, I lost a lot of good stuff, and they cleared out, all valuables, basically, even some of my clothing and stuff. So it's pretty bad. It's a shitty deal.
Yeah.
I've still got some stuff, but not much. So, I've got, not even 10% of what there was. So probably, I don't know how many pieces, but still trains, and there was some other stuff, but the majority is gone.
Yeah. Well, I said I've got it all here still. I mean, I had it up. I had a big, not big, but it was a fair size when I was living before in the place I lived in before I moved to the apartment I had in Westerly, Rhode Island. And I had the shelf system in my living room that it was about 18 inches wide, and it went around the whole room. And the only place there wasn't was the doorway into the living room. And I figured I could build myself a shelf to go across that if I can continue to run it. But I never got that far. I started building it again when I moved into that apartment. But then I took on those my 2 cats that I rescued. I thought when I got them, they were oldish anyway. I figured they're old cats. They're just asleep. No, I started running my trains. Shit, they loved them. they would chase them and knock them off. And, you know, that's why there's not a flat earth, because of cats. Because if we had a flat earth, cats would knock everything off the end of it anyway. You know? But the cats got into it. And so what I had started, I took it all. I had most of the track laid, but I had just started on the scenery. So I just stopped and took all the track up and put it all away. And it's been sitting in this stuff here. I've been here almost 7 years. And I took it down at least, it's been about 10 years since it's been packed away. So, now was it there? Actually, no, it's closer to 15 years that it's been packed away. So, I'm thinking, see, and also mine is half HO scale and half 00 scale, because a lot of mine is English. I used to run English trains, you know, but they're hard. I mean, the actual, you know, I used to run English trains, but then I thought, hell, now let's go American. So I started buying American trains, and I was slowly swapping them over to them. The layout I was going to build in Rhode Island was going to be American based, you know. And what I'm thinking about here is, as I told you, the railroad that runs down through Bird's Eye up into Huntingburg. My dad worked on that when he was a kid, around 18, 19 years old, before he joined the Air Force. And down in Huntingburg, which is about 12 miles, it's about 5 miles across from Jasper. But there is one of those. I was looking at a map of it yesterday. There's an old a rail yard there, you know, with the sidings where they cut trains and change them all. It was a big place in Huntingburg. Even had, I looked at a map of it and a couple of old photos. It had, you know, workshops where they worked on the cars, worked on the engines, and all. It was big back in the day. So I was thinking, well, maybe I'll model that part of the, you know, what goes through here is the Northern, Norfolk Southern Railroad that runs through here. Yeah, Norfolk Southern is what it's called. And they used to, I mean, since I'm hoping it will change, but before the last administration closed down most of the goddamn coal mines. But there used to be coal trains running past on this road, you know, at least 2 a day, you know, in each direction. 2 going fully loaded, 2 coming back empty, you know. But it still runs freight, but not as often as it did, you know. So I was thinking of modeling that. What do you think? You know, plus do my guns, you know. I got to do, hey, I'm retired. I got to do something with my time.
Yeah, you already got the stuff. I mean, if you got the room, that's just it. You got to have the room.
Yeah. So another thing I was thinking and was doing was rearranging my bedroom, which is bigger than this room, twice the size of this, if not bigger, and just moving everything over there, even my guns and everything, just make, you know. But I don't know. I haven't, you know. But as Defense Dad says, run it around the whole house, you know. Could do that. He said run it from the kitchen into the living room to bring my beers. You know, that was a good idea, but it'd be water because I don't drink, as you guys know. But I understand where you're coming from.
I wouldn't do that. You're talking like the shelves or anything like that around the top and stuff. I wouldn't do that because not with your landlord. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
But
would attach anything to walls and stuff
I
like that.
know, I know.
They
That's
owe 'em
one thing I was thinking of doing. I would like it to be semi-movable. You know what I'm saying? That's why it said 6 foot
yeah,
long, maybe 2 foot wide. Start with that, then I can always add on another section to it. Make it modular. That way, if I ever leave here or take it down, I can take it down. That's what I was thinking. Do 6 foot boards, baseboard with legs on it, for it all folds up. Because
yeah,
you just got to watch how you move it, but most of the scenery will be all glued down and stuck down anyway. So if you lift it up and put it sideways to move it, it ain't going to fall off. You just got to be careful not knock the shit off when That's what I was thinking. So when I'm not shooting, I can be working on the model railroad. That was my thinking. Hey, Mr. Knives, good to see you. So, what do you think? Think I should start it? Or is this to know one of my crazy dreams?
No, it's crazy. I mean, you enjoy it. You got the stuff. If you got enough,
I did enjoy doing it. I really did. And
you
I've been
got
telling myself since I've lived here. Even, I've been telling myself that I want to start building it again, but I keep talking myself out of it.
yeah, as long as you got room, because that's really the biggest thing. So
it does. I mean, I know.
you got
Like you said, 6 foot by 2 foot. I can build a small, yard for trains, but you're gonna want to.
Yeah. So
longer. I mean, I'll be honest. I had the one I had before. I was down in the basement, and I didn't take the whole basement because it was humongous. But the corner I took, I had it where the train would actually go round, and it went through a tunnel, came on. But it went around like basically a circle, but it was weaving in mountains and shit like that. So, but I mean, there was days I'd just turn it on and watch the train run around and around and around. Other days I would, do sort of like dropping off, these wagons at this location because, industries and stuff like that. I would do that kind of stuff with it. But there was days I would just turn it on and watch the trains run. And to do that, you need room. You ain't gonna watch them run round and round on a 6x2. Unless you're doing Z gauge. And I mean that's the smallest train you can get.
And then once you start adding multiple lines,
I know how it goes.
Yeah, so that's I don't know that this is like comparable to a drug problem. So
I've got enough track. I got enough track. I could if I turn this whole room into a train. I got enough track. I could go all the way around this.
Couple little
with two lines plus all the sidings and still have track left over. You know what I'm saying? I got tons of trains I could run. One day I could run British trains on it. Next day I could run American trains on it. I got American and British trains there. I got stuff to start making scenery and shit. So I've even I don't know if they're any good, but I happened to see them the other day. I was looking through the thing. I still have tubes of glue that I've never used. They've never been opened. It's white, like white Elmer's glue you're using. It's not, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, I got bottles of it, at least 2 or 3 bottles in one of these drawers that I've never opened. I don't know if they're any good or not, but I said I just packed everything away. So I've got containers of ballast, the containers of green stuff to make grass, and I got buildings galore as well. You know, I've got stuff over here, you know. Oh, I've even got turnout stew in the packets I haven't even opened yet. You know? So, there you go. That cost me $10 years ago. Damn. I don't know how much they are now. I need to look it up. So.
Probably $2.99.
Yeah. Yeah. Bought this from the model shop in Groton, Connecticut. Yeah. So, yeah. So, I said I got all that. I got packets of these sitting in here. I got boxes of fences. What else I got? I don't open this that much. Oh, look, I've even got, what's that? Man, what have I got in here? What's that? Okay. All right. Oh, that's buffer stops. Okay. All right. What else is in here? Oh, I even got paint, model paint. Here.
You see what got started here, people?
Yeah. And some of these drawers are still taped closed because I taped it all for when I moved them. Look at that. I've even got for like different color powders and stuff. You know, to weather your cars and stuff, like make them look dirty and shit like that. I got all this here. You know? Oh yeah, I got all this kind of shit. More paint. You know? Damn. See, I got it all. So I think I'm gonna really look into it. I mean, I wonder how much to get to start off with, say, like let's go 8 foot. You know, 8 foot by 2 foot. That way I can do an end to end. It'd be small, but I could do it. But what I want to do is make a small baseboard, you know, and legs on it. How much would that cost me if I bought the wood and put it together? How much do you think?
Depends how do you want to build it.
I was going to use 1 by 2. I want it light. I want it light in case I have to move it, you know?
Furring strips, and then what about your long section? What are you going to want for that? A solid sheet, because most sheets come 4 by 8. So
yeah,
you know, if you were
cut it in half, and that way I'll have the other half for when I need to extend it another 8 foot.
All right. Well, if you're looking at like OSB, for example, if you went with what's comparable, like 1/2 inch or whatever, the thin stuff they have over there.
It's got to be strong enough to hold the weight. And stuff.
Yeah. But that's usually about $15 a sheet. If you wanted plywood, then you're starting up at more than double. So plywood's pretty expensive, unless you go for like the 1/4 inch stuff, and then that's still pricier. So you know, any kind of actual lumber, obviously you're gonna end up with seams, so you're not gonna get 2 foot out of one piece. You know what I mean? So width wise, so they also have plastic sheeting, which, you know, it's not necessarily light, but depending whatever, nor is it cheap. So it's OSB would be probably your cheapest.
Yeah.
There's also Luan over there, or underfloor layment, sometimes it's called. In some cases, there's different printing on it, but that's real thin, like quarter-inch stuff, and it's not going to be too sturdy or.
No, tell I think go with the OSB, it'd be sturdier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
would say, will there be in my town? Will there be a gun store? There will be now.
But if you're using furring strips, unless you're using like a finished nailer or something, I would pre-drill the holes because furring strips are really thin.
Yeah.
And, if you're doing a bunch of screws, at some point something's going to split or crack probably. So I just recommend doing a little pre-drill, and then you don't have to worry about being almost done, and then now you got a shitty joint somewhere, and
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I might start working on that. Getting it together. Yeah. Yeah. I think I will. I think I'll start doing it. So
it might have something around, so I don't know. I don't know what you have.
yeah. I've got over here leaning against the wall. I said I don't use it, but I've got a 8-foot by, I think it's 3-foot wooden dining room table. And it's got wooden legs and everything. It's all in pieces. But I got a big piece that's about 3 foot wide, about 8 foot tall, leaning up against the wall there. And I got all the legs and stuff are sitting behind it. I got all the screws to put it all back together. It's been sitting there for 7 years. I don't think I'll be using it as a dining room table. Why don't I use that? It's wood. It's heavy though. But
are you talking about cutting the dining room table?
No. You just use that as my.
Okay, setting the table up makes sense.
Set the table up. Then what I was thinking putting on top of it was foam. That way you can cut ridges and mountains out of it. You know what I'm saying? And you can make the train go slightly, if you cut some, you can make it go lower or higher or whatever.
Yep. That foam board, it's not necessarily cheap, but especially if you try to get the thicker stuff, but one sheet's probably all you need for a table.
Yeah, and I think you can buy that in 4x8 sheets, can't you?
Yep. Yeah. And the excess you cut off, you might be able to
use them to stack up to make the mountain higher, or make a tunnel or whatever. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. Hey, it's 8:10. I'm still talking.
Yeah, you've been on a roll. I mean, you sound an ass with this train stuff.
Yeah, you got me going on that. So anyway, guys, I'm going to call it quits because I had dinner before the show.
What about the quiz?
I've got dessert waiting for me. And I want to eat it. So I'm going to call it quits. I'm going to stop now while I'm ahead. And you guys, so don't expect to see a model railroad here next week. It's, I got to pull the table out first and put it together. I got to find somewhere in the bedroom to set it up first, because I don't think, if it was just me living here, I would set that damn table up in the middle of the living room and build it in there, because there's plenty of room to walk around, Oh, I tell you what I do have too. The last thing I bought for that model railroad, 15 years ago, and it was almost brand new. I only had it for about 6 months. And I imagine, and I was looking on YouTube, they still used the one that I got. They call it DCC, Digital Command Control, where normally what happens is in a normal DC power train, the power goes to the track, and the power in the track controls the train. So if you put two trains on the same track, both trains will run at the same time. And it depends how they gear. They can run at different speeds, but right, you stop the train, both trains will stop. But with DCC, you put a little chip in them. Not all of mine had the chips because I stopped before I converted them all. I think I got maybe 4 or 5 of them have the DCC chip in them, and they had their own number. And so you could run 5 trains on the same line, moving at different speeds. You could stop one right in the middle and stuff. You don't have to section off the railing with the wiring. It's so much simpler. I even got that sitting in there. You know? And they've got a program now. You can even run it from your computer screen here. You know? Damn. Anyway, my quiz. The drawing's next week. So let me find it here. Yeah, called DCC Control. And I got the whole system, spanking brand. I said it was about 6 months old when I packed it all away. You know, and I know it's 15 years old, but it's still workable. It can still, I look, people still use that brand and model. So there we go. I can always buy a new one too, but I got one to start with is what I'm saying. So, all right. My question for the quiz, for the swag pack next week, mail in. What I want to know is who, when, and who invented and what caliber, that's just a bonus, is who made the first practical metallic cartridge. When was it invented? What year and by who? And as a bonus, what caliber? I got this off of Google, so that's the answer I'm going with. Email me at rickslife@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. Get it into me by next Wednesday, and you'll be in for the drawing. So there you go. Oh, also, I've even joined a couple of model train forums online, too. So, oh, God. Hey, I'm all or nothing, you know. Next thing you know, I'll be selling guns to buy trains. Nah, I won't do that. I like my guns. I really do. But I'm just thinking of what I do with the rest of my time when I'm not shooting. You know, I could be working on guns and stuff. I know that. And I still will. But I need to do something else. And I think model railroad and guns is a good combination. So, what do you think? You got any last things to say there, New York Outcast?
I just wish you luck on your journey. And other than that, tell everybody thanks for stopping by. Obviously, eat a salad, stay cool, and we'll catch you next time.
All right. Right. Thanks. I appreciate you being here as always. And I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat for stopping by, listening to me waffle on with stuff. You know, you guys ever want to talk about anything, drop me a line on topic or something, you know. Hey, I'll bring it up. I don't have a problem with that. So with that, I'm going to say good night to everybody. Don't forget the quiz. Drawings next Wednesday. And with that, I'm going to say thanks for being here. I really do appreciate you guys stopping by. And I will see you all next week at 7 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. So, with that, good night, everybody. Good night, Sabrina.